You've got a great way of just sapping away the damage with the CK with Lace on the Razor. It makes it relatively easy as well to spot the real CK if you catch him off before the Phantasm goes off. So you've got a steady way of chasing him down as well. If I really had to choose, I would probably lean very, very slightly towards Navi, simply because I'm not sure what Yopaj does to speed up his game, and you can already see he is queuing up that old power treads into the Kaya Sanj, it looks like. So back to that build-up, it just feels a little bit slow in comparison to the Nulls. And again, compared to the other Spirit Brothers, that is certainly a slower tempo in comparison.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they just have to be very aggressive on the side of Boom this game, but Navi certainly have the answers for that aggression themselves. I mean, it seems like their own draft is set to be extremely aggressive, especially once you get out of that laning stage. And speaking of aggression, Boom, they are there with the 5-man smoke out. The position in that dire jungle, but nobody going to be around from Navi. They hang around in the dire triangle instead. Doesn't seem like they're interested in the level 1 team fight, though. As I say that, in they walk. No one. Is he going to go back into that dire jungle? It seems like he just may. Sticky Maypalm not going to find anyone, so FBZ might be able to set up onto Solo. Snapfire's out, so is no one. That'll allow a very nice spear into the arrow, and First Blood should be going the way of Boom Esports, as Tims will take it on the Mirana. A very nice start already.
Get the kill they want. They might be able to sneak away an extra rune as well, and they will. Jackie managed to grab one. Tims will grab the other, so a 3-for-1 start already for Boom with that First Blood. Feeling good about the game already. But Navi, again, they just need a couple of levels. Their lanes do look strong. We are looking down bot here, Mike. Sweden strong on Marcy with Lace on the Razor. That classic Marcy Razor lane that Navi has been leaning into quite often now. Up against Jackie on his CK and Skem on the Winter Wyvern. This is a lane that plays fast for both sides. You do have some aggression that comes up. I'd say Navi at level 2 feels great, but level 2 as well, level 3 more for Boom can be nice, and you always have to watch the Winter Wyvern. When that Arctic Burn is up, your HP just goes down to half no matter what.
It's certainly a very aggressive lane from both sides. It's now Sweden Strong going to make a bit of a jump in, but a bit of harassment to come out. Nothing too special. Doesn't have the dispose to really go for Jackie's life yet. That top lane as well, of course, Tims and FBZ going to be against Solo and V-Tune. Another very aggressive lane from both sides. Just depends on whether FBZ can land that spear into the arrow. Obviously goes the other way around as well for V-Tune and Solo. You can get a nice Jingu Mastery proc or a Boundless Strike into the cookie. It's going to be a hell of a lot of damage to be pumped out. So, could be kills going all across the map. Might be a hard one to keep up with this game around, John.
Yeah, I expect both sides to really look for that early aggression. Nice arrow.
Tims. Very nice arrow out from Tims. Solo, he'll go for a run, and well, Tims has not hit level 2 yet, so doesn't have the leap charges. He was one creep away, but he's also one right-click away from killing off Solo here. Won't have enough to keep up. Had he had level 2, he probably would have had that, but now bot lane Jackie. He's the one in danger. Lace, he drops rather low on that Razor. Skem will force them back. Make sure Jackie does remain safe, but again, John, these side lanes, they are set to be very aggressive between these two teams.
You just can't underestimate that rebound dispose with a static link. It's a lot of damage early on. Jackie just doesn't naturally enjoy matching up against a Razor, and static link is just going to get a lot of value out from you. Although,
Lace
just turn stuns out.
It's just all about trying to dominate the lane. Dispose is there. Skem, he'll comp it. Lace, thinking about going for the static link, but decides better of it. Doesn't want to risk Jackie getting too much damage out onto Sweden Strong. This meta, I mean, it's just so important to win out these lanes. And speaking of winning lanes, Yopaj is 21-4 in CS. Where the hell did this come from?
Yeah, he's managed to dance around no one quite nicely. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, he's got the early wand. Maybe he's just been able to play with that added regen, shove out the wave every time, not give no one an angle in, and just kind of farm his small camp as well. Been very efficient with that, as he's the one really shoving out the lane. I mean, Batrider doesn't really shove out the lane well. He needs to right-click every single one of them, in comparison to Storm just dropping that set for him. So a good start for Yopaj, but no one's... He's behind in CS, but not too far behind in EXP. He's still going to meet the level 5, maybe a bit behind in the 6, and as long as Yopaj gets 6 ahead of that Batrider, Storm's not in danger there.
Must be that small camp that Yopaj has been hitting, my god. Like, pulling ahead this much on the CS board is kind of ridiculous. Still, 1-0. Again, so much aggression in the side lanes mostly. And while we do have a chance from that aggression, John, I mean, going back to the mid lane for a moment, and no one maybe not having as dominant of a start as you would have expected on the Batrider, right? Like, you kind of expect no one to just be able to run Yopaj down at, say, level 2, but that hasn't happened, and it seems like Yopaj is just CSing way too well as no one. Be following him up, but just going for the water runes for now. You are around that timing as well, where you might see Tim starting to rotate slowly into the mid lane to try and snipe this Batrider. Be very careful here as no one, but instead, it might be Solo that gets ganked up if he's not too careful. Tim's having a look around, setting up for an arrow, but not going to bother going for one as it is on cooldown anyway. There is going to be a bit of a quiet period here between these two teams for now. Again, it feels like it's a very tense game already. Mid lane, Yopaj in a bit of danger. Sweden strong, should be able to dispose, but no, he's out of mana. Yopaj is going to try and turn this one, but does go down. In comes Skem though. He should find one, but no one's going to turn this one again for a double kill. It seems like a Skem. He'll try to fight back. No one's still going, however, and does secure the double. Nice turnaround attempt there from Yopaj, but he wasn't expecting the rotation from Sweden strong, and is going to eventually drop here to the Batrider.
It's very important for no one. He hits his level 6 earlier than Storm now, so he's got the threat of Lasso for just a little bit longer. Yopaj shouldn't be too far behind with the creep wave though. And it's going to hit his own 6 in a timely manner, but evens out.
Spear, not there yet. He's not giving the angle to FBZ. Spear will eventually come out, but there was just no tree line to go for. You saw Tim's just waiting for the spear into the arrow, but again, props to V-Tune. He just runs straight north, does not give the angle away.
Man, he is finding quite a lot of farm on that monkey already. Managing to build up here.
There you go, FBZ. Gonna be somewhat careful because V-Tune gonna primal spring in, trying to get that slow on FBZ, but unable to secure enough damage to take the kill. Meanwhile, down a bot lane, Jackie, he's gonna find himself in a spot of danger to Lace, but they're not gonna go for the dive. Don't need to. They'll just steal away enough damage here from Jackie to make his life a little bit harder down at this bot lane, and but Jackie has surprisingly been left alone here against the offlane of Navi. And now the jump will be there. Sweden strong. Won't be able to find Dispose. Meanwhile, top lane, Yopaj, Haste Rune is up. He's going to find Solo on the Snapfire. Vortex is there. And that should be a kill to go the way of Yopaj. In fact, he even finds himself a nice cheeky double stack. So, you know, get even more CS going on this Storm. Why not?
Just build up. And for that running start that you want. Trotting around with a level 6, and that is giving no one room down mid to just farm onto the travels, but they managed to spot something like V-Tune here. That could be big.
Could be. Yopaj, does he want to zip through the tree line? Doesn't seem like he's got a sense that V-Tune is there, or maybe he does. Maybe just waiting for that slight bit of vision. Pressure that T1 top tower a little bit, but eventually will back off, and no one was making his way over just in case they were going to commit for that, but eventually he'll back off as well. Funny thing is, though, Tim's being very annoying here for no one, John. He's just taking all the large creeps away from that jungler's bot lane. Jackie, bit of an aggressive jump in, but Yopaj, he'll be there to back him up from the top lane down towards the bot lane. Sweden strong and Lace probably both going to drop. Yopaj should have no problem securing a double kill. It's one of those games, John. It might turn into the Yopaj show if they're not careful.
He's building up really well, and this is one issue with Navi's draft. They don't have the hold for the Storm. This is why it's such a great Storm game. You're relying on no one to just go in with a lasso, and that's going to be depending on his blink timing, depending if they can find a flank to just catch Yopaj off guard, and just not allow him to zip away, and whether or not they can follow through from the lasso to get enough damage off. They have to watch out, because, yeah, Storm isn't the best, although
Dispose is there, lasso available, but no one. Not feeling confident to go for it. Will hold out. He did have to skim around to try and protect. Yopaj still going to find a double damage no matter what. FBZ and Tim's really making sure that Power Rune does remain protected. Yeah, lasso just never coming out.
I was a bit surprised. It looked like a good angle up. Could try to drag back onto the tower. Issue of damage, I believe, in that sense, because they didn't have the napalm stacks built up. Not going to be able to burn through him early on, and you don't have that much damage on your Marcio. Though Scam, they find a nice kill in the Winter Wyvern.
A nice easy one, sweet and strong. Just the dispose into the Sonic Link is a bit too much for the Wyvern to take here as Lace. Trying to apply a bit of pressure here onto Jackie as well, but he's going to be just fine to back his way into the tree line. And meanwhile, top lane, Tims and Yopaj scouting around, trying to find V-Tune. And they did force him away from the Dire jungle. So far, again, Boom doing a very good job of denying V-Tune this area of the map. And even no one, again, he tried to come in earlier and Firefly the camps, but there was no large creeps because Tim's just been arrowing every single one.
It's a lot of gold to cut away from that Batrider. This Traveled's timing, it's still not bad, but it's not as fast as it could have been for no one. That's just going to hurt his presence here. Boom, already shoving in that top tier one here, Mike. Managing to open up the map a little bit more, cutting off further camps for V-Tune to kind of farm in, all the while buying a lot of space for Jackie down bot. No one's been moving down to that CK. Like, after that movement down bot where they found the kills with Zeopaj zipping in, Jackie has had a pretty free lane, and he is starting to ramp up. Armlet not too far away. Once that's up, it's going to be harder to get that burst onto him.
Primal Spring, misses. So does the Scatter Blast. No slows landing on FBZ this time around. Meanwhile, mid lane, Yopaj, not going to cop the dispose. They will get the haste rune though, so no one. Thinking about going after Skem, but does not want to deal with the storm right now. In fact, Tim's even around is hitting the tier 1 tower. Look at this, Boom Esports all showing up, but the arena. FBZ, he'll try, but no one. He'll have a bit of a giggle to himself about that. And so, Boom, they will not be able to stick around for this tier 1 mid, I don't think. They'll be forced to back away.
Yeah, just kind of hold back. They do force a lot of movement towards mid. Again, freeing up the side lanes for FZ and especially for Jackie to just keep his farm game up. So you really don't mind too much. Like, V-Tune getting some room up top. But the progression on the Monkey King's a lot slower than I think you'd really like. Even FZ's slightly ahead of the Monkey King right now. And once Jackie hits that armlet, he might be more than willing to show up in some of these earlier engagements here. As one issue for Navi as well is that they've not been able to trade tier 1 towers. Top fell, they haven't shoved in bot. Again, they've just left that bot alone for too long, and Jackie's gotten his money's worth.
Certainly has. It's the one thing about Jackie, right? Like, he can have a tough lane, but once he disappears into that jungle, he's one of the fastest farmers in the world. Yeah, just very, very, very quick with the farm here on the CK, and see how he does keep up this game. As no action happening across the map quite yet, but no one. Looking at FBZ top lane. We'll pop the Firefly. FBZ completely alone, but doesn't actually have the spear to throw out, but no one. Doesn't have detection either. Meanwhile, mid lane, Solo, gonna get jumped here by Yopaj. The Snapfire been left alone and is gonna drop to Tims. The sweet and strong. They'll try to chase them down, but this Moonlight Shadow just ruining everything for Navi. They don't have the dust.
Yeah, they need to carry that. Maybe not expecting that level 6 to be up for Tims just yet and for Boom to play aggressive on it. Now they're clumping up mid once more. Arena is ready on FPZ.
He was caught out for a moment. They won't take down Lace, but look how they're forcing Navi to rotate across the map here, John. No one's going to show up, and a bit of a pause out from Boom now. So we have some lag, but this gives Navi a chance to try and really decide who they want to aim down here down at the bot lane. Like, you'd much rather be able to go after Jackie naturally. Thing is, if you don't catch Skem, he does have Curse up. So it feels like you've got no choice but to go for the lasso on the Wyvern.
Yeah. It does feel like you're going to have to go for it. I'm not sure if they saw the tree dance from the low ground there. The vision, it shows the particles, but again, I'm not completely sure. It looks like it should have been in vision. Skem might have the idea that they're trying to make a play onto Jackie. But I don't think he... I know, it's a pretty awkward angle. And it does look like it should favor Navi if they manage to get a good lasso. So, could line up. They are going to sacrifice their mid no matter what, though. As the mid is set to fall. It's only Sweet and Strong and Lace really coming out. Or Sweet and Strong and Solo coming in. Not enough to really stop that.
What's a PC hang, John? That's a new one.
PC's hanging. Yeah,
hanging?
It's hanging.
Goodness me.
It's frozen.
Oh, I
We
see.
say hang in
Right.
the Philippines. I don't know if that's inappropriate English. I wouldn't know.
No,
I don't speak English. I barely speak Filipino either.
I was about to say, what do you speak, John? So, I mean, it's the first time I've heard PC hang before. So there you go. I'm learning every day, Jonathan, about the beautiful Filipino culture.
I honestly thought that was something everyone said. You know, oh, my PC just hanged.
No,
PC froze. Really?
who says that?
Maybe not in. I don't know. Maybe not down south. You guys living wrong anyway. All that living upside down, blood rushing to your head, Mikey.
Yeah,
Drop
It's
bears,
it's not easy.
redbacks, stonefish.
Stonefish. The
How
hell's
do you
a
not know about stonefish?
What's a
It's-
stonefish, John?
It's on your coastline. It's camouflaged like a rocky seabed, and it's highly venomous. Well,
Right.
not venomous. It's poisonous. Well, what's the difference in venom and poison again? I forget. It's one of those two, and if you step on it with its spines, it's pretty deadly. Fun.
Okay.
That's why I fear Australian beaches, because you don't know what's under there that'll kill you. I don't know how anyone in Australia can swim with a clear conscience, without being terrified.
You just kind of accept the fact that if you're gonna die, you're gonna die, John. I mean, this country wants to kill you anyway. So what are you gonna do, right? I stepped on a sea urchin once. That wasn't very fun. Got stung by a jellyfish as well. Wasn't very fun either, Jonathan. Let me tell you, the whole urine trick does not work. Just for anyone out there, do not put urine on your jellyfish things. It does nothing except make people laugh at you. Yeah,
People do that in jellyfish things. I know they do that for stepping on sea urchins.
Oh,
Like the spine.
Wait, that's what the urine's for? For the sea
Yeah, it's
urchin?
on like it where the sea urchin spine enters you, and that's where you drop some pee to try to neutralize it.
Right.
Whatever it's in that sea urchin. I didn't know
Very
you
good.
did that for jellyfish. You did it for jellyfish. Okay, so I'm not sure. Maybe because you did it for jellyfish, that's why people laughed at you,
I'm
Mike.
not saying I did it, John. Right? I have standards. I'm not saying I did it. I'm just saying it doesn't work. Don't ask me how I know that. I just know it doesn't work, John. Anyway, moving
plead
on
the
from
fifth
this.
here, Mike. Plead the fifth.
Moving on from this terrible conversation, the thing is with this the game state right now, Skem and Jackie, if they might get caught out, but the thing is Boom is still going to secure the mid-tier 1 tower for this. So either way, it feels like Boom wins this little exchange here with Navi, unless they find a way to stop this mid-tier 1 tower being forced in. But it seems like it's inevitable that it just goes down now, and that's going to open up the jungle fully to the side of Boom. And Navi, they might struggle to find anywhere to farm at this rate. Because you've got such an aggressive draft here from Boom. They're just going to run you down through that jungle. There's no need for them to slow down.
They don't need to kick it down a notch, even for Jackie. Armlet's more than enough for the CK to kind of feel comfy, although you'll likely want Echo Saber or BKB first, and after that, it's much better. Do have to go ahead. Jackie has reconnected. He has unhanged his PC. Now, that is not what we say, but I'll stick with my guns. Unhanged his PC.
I believe it's unhung, Jonathan. Oh, mid lane.
Unhung.
I don't know, John. We don't say it. Mid-tier 1 tower is going to drop, and it seems like bot lane nothing works out apart from Skem going down. So, not too big of a deal. You get the Pos 5 Wyvern. You really had no choice in the matter. Navi had to aim that one down, but they lose the mid-tier 1 tower. And I think that's still a bigger deal here for Boom Esports, as they will walk away with a 4K net worth advantage. And Navi backs against the wall a little bit here, John. Again, their jungles are going to be opened up and be a little bit risky now for Navi. How going to smoke?
Going for the smoke plays. I mean, they've got the kisses ready, so they could try to connect onto one here.
B. Going to find a target, but they will try to focus down the bot tier 1. It's a matter of whether Boom want to try and defend this. You don't have lasso up, so they might feel confident to move in. And in fact, they found Sweet and Strong with the vision of Skem. They'll move in. Sweet and Strong going to try and fight back with the sidekick, but it's not going to be enough. Yopash able to secure the kill for now. As Navi, they are still trying for the bottom tier 1 tower, but Boom, they are bringing their whole team over to force the fight now. 4v5, it's FBZ trying to move in for a nice arena. Is not going to be able to find one against Navi, but they do force them back successfully. They do also protect that tier 1 tower, and now FBZ, he does have the blink incoming. So suddenly you've got that big initiation from Boom Esports.
That's big for Boom. They can play off the back of it. It's much more reliable for them to go with that. They don't need to have Yopaj put his life at risk zipping in, although there's not much really that catches him out. Just having two options in hand is going to be a lot better for Boom now. Navi, it's one of those games where you look at this off-lane Razor and you start to wonder about the value. Like, Lace did have a decent time in lane, but when you're behind as a Razor like this and you're just trying to get into your BKB, maybe saving up for your refresh as well, it doesn't feel like you really contribute. There's just no playmaking as Boom will go for that smoke play with a blink.
He's a big target. FBZ right in. No problem. Into the arrow of Tim's. It's a standard combination from Boom Esports, and they'll find a very valuable target here on the side of Navi. 5k net worth advantage now, and I'll tell you what, John, this is more like the Boom we're used to seeing.
Yep, they're hitting their stride, playing with these early timings, getting the aggression out, shutting the enemy team from really trying to get that build up, while all the time, while doing that and buying space for Jackie as well. So they're enabling everyone while shutting down Navi. Navi with their lineup, and they're trying to build into a BKB for no one. That could be one launching point. It does feel like you'd want a blink up on no one as well. Maybe once you have that blink BKB on the Batrider, you can start to look for those single target plays.
Let's get him. Gonna show up here with the Moonlight Shadow. Sentries are down, so they will see Skim in just a moment. No one. Go for that lasso onto that Wyvern first. There's no one gonna move in, but FBZ gonna zone him out, and now the curse. He's there, only connecting on two, and the Mortimer's Kisses are gonna force them back. In fact, B-Tune, a great boundless strike out, at least finding the Wyvern, but FBZ also gonna be chased down here on the Mars. Nice arrow landing onto Sweden Strong as Yopaj gonna zip right through the tier 1 tower. Sweden Strong, though, is still barely gonna survive. Nobody dropping from Navi. They will be just fine to leave after taking that bottom tier 1 tower. And they should be happy with that.
Yeah, they finally get a pick off. Not the biggest kill. They might find stragglers.
Tim's, one more leap charge available, but FBZ will make the jump in with the arena. In fact, Yopaj will follow up. It's a big arena round. They'll find the Razor. They'll find Solo on the Snapfire. And that should be enough. They don't have enough mana on the Storm to keep going. But a great turnaround here from FBZ. You never underestimate that Mars.
Yeah, gets the angle in. They managed to successfully cut the tree of V-Tune as well, so he couldn't get any counterplay early on. Just kind of stuck in the corner there in the timeout zone. And Boom get the better end of it. Like, yeah, they dropped Scam earlier, but now they find Blaze, they find a Snap, and that's much bigger. You're killing off the core, you're getting the bonus of the support, you only lose your Pots 5 Wyvern, you don't really care about that on Boom. All the while, Jackie, again, is just on the opposite side of the map. He's just farming, no one's going to punish him. I think that's where Navi should be collapsing onto. Just run down Jackie somehow. He's all by himself. Although now Boom are starting to trend toward that area, and they will smoke up top now.
They will. No downtime here for Boom. They just want to keep running at the side of Navi. Solo is around to break the smoke, so he should be the victim here, unless they see Lace instead. FBZ, he's rushing forward. Has he got the vision? They left the Pupil's Gift on the ground as well, and the Spear's gonna land onto the Razor, into the arrow. They'll have another kill for themselves. And they lost the neutral item. I believe that was the Pupil's Gift of Navi on the deck, and I believe Tim's is holding it now for himself.
Ooh, never a good feeling. I guess losing neutral, the gift isn't the worst to lose. So it's not as bad as, say, losing a Psychic Headband down the line or a Philosopher's Stone. Could have been much worse. Still, losing Lace is still pretty bad. It just goes back to what we were saying about that Razor, right? Like, I had a little thought where if the Razor is behind here, Mike, it just doesn't contribute. Like, even with the BKB up, I'm not sure if that's enough, because you're still not durable up against the CK, up against the Storm who's going to be on top of you. The right-click damage of the CK still going to be there, especially if you don't find the right one, if the Phantasm gets popped first. So I'm still keen to see what Navi wants to do, because no one's going to inch towards that BKB. Again, your launching point should be the Batrider here for Navi. Speaking of that BKB, though, Yopaj gets his ahead. So he might be more than willing to just make all those risky plays, and that will really force Navi to just rely on the Batrider to stop him.
Absolutely. Boom Esports 11-5 now, 8k advantage. Very powerful position for them to be in. Navi, not out of this game yet, but certainly have a long way to go as Yopaj top lane lays. He's going to be caught out. Oh, just before the TP ends. Barely enough mana to get to the Razor as FBZ. He'll be around to finish the job off. Lays still alive. Curse is there. No one trying to move in to help out. Is going to get cursed up and brought into Jackie, but no one. He's going to BKB up into the lasso onto FBZ's Mars. They should have a double as FBZ will be left to die, but here comes Jackie now protecting Yopaj on the Storm as they've at least found Sweet and Strong. Back in on no one. Without a BKB, he's a sitting duck. And still the team fight will go the way of Boom Esports as Navi. They had a moment of brilliance there, Jonathan, but not brilliant enough.
I'm surprised they commit that hard. I feel like once you saw Lays just ready to fall, you had no clear exit plan for no one. It was kind of all in, just try to find what you can and accept your fate. It still doesn't end up being that great of a trade. I mean, it is a net benefit to Navi. They do gain more gold on the heroes that matter, especially the Batrider, more than they lose. Boom just builds up their lead. 9k up, 14-7 now. And Jackie has his BKB up and running with the armlet. This assembly play on the Echo Saber. They're hunting for more.
Yeah, they've got the Snapfire. That should be another hit for the side of Boomer solo. He's going to tank the gank here from Boomer at least. He does buy a bit more time, but not enough in the end. Be the 15th kill here for Boom Esports, and it seems like they want to slowly start chipping away at the mid-tier 2. And now they are going to back their way out once again. Go after Roshan instead. A much more valuable target here for Boom.
Yep. Into the pit. Jackie's got the damage with a fantastic medium pop. And Navi, they still have no play for the pit. You might need to have V-Tune on top of that, but your Monkey King's just severely underfarmed at the moment. Still no blink on no one, only having the BKB picked up. Boom is just going to get it for free. Navi have no angle in, and now you have to contend with 2 lives on Jackie. This CK has not died one time. I don't know if you have enough to kill him off twice.
Certainly doesn't feel like it, John. Certainly does not feel like it. There is going to be a big smoke up though, Navi. Maybe trying to get something out of this. Very hard to fight into that Aegis though, especially when you're 10k behind.
Stupendous.
Lead and Strong being watched in the mid lane. They will not make the jump yet. Boom, they are still focusing the top tier 2 tower anyway. And now another smoke out from Boom. As for, they'll leave Jackie behind. Let him keep farming up, and the pings are coming out towards the south because they have found Lace on that Razor. He's underneath the Radiant Vision, so the zip in from Yopaj. Going to be easy to set up as the Arrow and Spear are going to follow up. It's back and forth here from Boom Esports, just really throwing Lace around on that Razor. And another kill to go the way of the Radiant. Just no slowing these guys down.
Yeah, just on the run here, Boom. Always find it satisfying when you manage to connect Spear push backwards into Arrow. FZ just getting that lined up. And Boom are starting to feel themselves. Navi just forced to sit back, forced to try and farm up. Maybe get that BKB on V-Tune. Having the double BKB on 2 cores or 3 cores with Razor BKB can be nice. I just don't know if it's enough. Again, the issue for Navi is that they have no clear angle to take these fights. Their team fight, it just doesn't feel like it's there. We see sometimes a great kiss out from Solo along with the Boundless coming out from V-Tune, but those opportunities are far and few between.
And now the blink up as well on Jackie, so he's got another way of just kind of closing the gap here on the CKs. Boom Esports not done yet. Another smoke. Top lane they go. No one. He was hanging around on that Batrider and still is. Not TPing out yet. Yopaj, though, moving towards the north as they might find Solo instead. But Tim, he's going to have a look on that tree line and may have seen no one, but no. They lost the vision. In fact, never mind, they did. Yopaj, he knows the bat is somewhere. No one. Not going to go for a TP. Eventually will do so now and is going to be just fine. Does time it correctly with the BKB.
Doesn't really manage to get much had to so pretty long cooldown there, and now just keep bottom still looking to play.
They're not moving fast, John. Not allowing Navi time to think about where Boom are going. Hunting down V-Tune, but he is going to pounce out at the right time with the rebounds. Against the bottom tier 1 tower is going to be very easily taken out by Jackie now, and they might even force a fight at the tier 2 bot. I mean, why the hell not? You know you're the stronger team by far at the moment with a 12k advantage. There's just no way Navi can force the fight and stop them from doing this. Not with the Aegis up on Jackie.
They've got to just kind of give it out here on Navi and try to get what farm they can. It's no one finding forward farm right now along with Lace. Blink next on the menu here for no one. That should give them the angle, but still a ways to go. Scam has his own blink up, so easier for them to get the good curse off.
No one. Oh, FPC. He's in a great arena down with the spear, and the Vortex is going to be the follow-up by Yopaj into Sweden Strong. They might even have the Marcy, but no, barely surviving. Instead, they'll go on to Lace, but B-Tune is going to save the day for now. They'll lock down Lace on that Razor, force the glyph up from the tier 3 tower, and that's going to be enough, at least for now, but boom, they're right back in. They've still got a minute and 15 on that Aegis timing as Jackie. He'll make a step in onto Solo. FBC's there to back him up. A double stun out. Solo in big trouble. They already found Sweden Strong. Lace at least is going to find that Aegis. He gets something for his team. But boom, they may not care, John. That Rider's still down for another 10. He does have buyback, but he's not committing it.
Smoked up. You need to find a really good angle to get a good kisses out with the Wukongs, but
The misblink there from Sweden Strong, not finding the real blink he wanted, just out of range for the dispose. And with that, Navi, they'll at least protect the mid racks, but they do lose that mid tier 3 tower. That's going to be about enough for Boom. They are not going to overextend this time around. They do back off. They maintain that 16k net worth lead. And chances are, John, they're probably just going to wait for the next Roshan. Meanwhile, Navi, they've got to make something happen. So they're going to smoke up this 4, see if they can find themselves a straggler on the way out of that dire base. And they are going to hang around that dire jungle, but nobody's going to be there from Boom. They've all headed down south.
Probably not going to find anything. At least they can retake control for top jungle. Kind of get some farm going here for V-Tune. Try to get the gold necessary for no one's blink. He will buy it out. So you've got the Batrider blink, but that will mean no Batrider buyback. See if Navi can play with that fresh pickup. They've got to find something. Boom. Moonlight Shadow up. Not quite going into the top jungle, but they do find another haste rune for Yopaj. Great rune control from start to finish here for Boom. Yopaj is making great use of it every single time in the storm. Navi, they've got that blink here, Mike, on no one. They really need to find that blink target and just get a pick off and kind of rinse and repeat.
It's been very hard with the initiation of Navi. They just haven't had a good opportunity. And props to Boom for not allowing that opportunity over. Boom, hanging around. Oh, that arrow. It's going to get a tiny bit of vision onto Navi. Pings around, but no one will make the jump in by himself, but he hasn't found a target. He's going to back out of there, and will do so, but they lose Sweden Strong immediately as the arena is down. B-Tune has been caught out and is forced to BKB up. Meanwhile, on the left side, Solo is going to drop us now, but Razor. Lace is going to drop to boot. 4 down for the side of Boom. Into the mid-racks they go. And GT's called Navi. There's no coming back for this game number 1. They'll go for a reset, have a chat, and come back in game 2's draft. Figure out what went wrong.
Yeah, I think starting off that Razor just didn't give them enough. Like, they flex it well, they run it off lane with Lace, they go back into the Razor Marcy lane, right? And they expect great things to come out. Boom, just go ahead and pick up the CK.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we do have a rotation out from Tim's here on the Tiny, at the very least, as Solo. Gonna spot that out and make sure that there's no... Considering their position in the groups right now, want every single win they can get, need all the points they can get, and well, so far in this series, doing a fantastic job to see if they can keep it up. As we do get into it. And again, John, you know how I am. I don't bet against the Japoyemba. We all know this. But at the same time, Navi bringing out something special here with the POS 1 Prophet and the POS 3 Doom to come out. So very hard to know exactly how this game goes down. Very, very different draft from Navi, which is what I love to see. We might have a very early team fight to break out as well, considering the drafts here. Good luck, have funs are coming out between both teams, as Ward's already getting placed as well here from Navi. Just getting that high ground in the mid lane of the Dire jungle. And maybe not. I suppose with the treants around, it's going to be kind of hard for anyone to sneak around. So Navi, they'll stay on their side. Boom, they'll probably stay on their side and see if they do end up clashing.
Yeah. Just probably just going to be patient.
30 seconds.
And Navi does have decent enough level 1 if they manage to chain a couple of Illuminates as we've seen before. But I don't think Boom is going to allow that to happen. And just play patiently.
Very patient. They're just going to wait around, see if somebody does try to come in for that bottom bounty rune. You do have the poison touch, and it's a very nice slow to have. FBZ's going to show up, sweet and strong. Pretty confident that he can just rebound out anyway, so he's going to go ahead and try. Doesn't get the bounty, but doesn't matter. He's perfectly safe. It's going to be a 2-for-2 trade on the bounty runes for now. A very even start. And while we're here, John, we may as well start with the bottom lane. Of course, you're going to have FBZ on the Tide, along with Tim's on the Tiny. Against... Lace. Lace makes his way down on the Doom, down at the bot lane, with Solo on the Dazzle. So they actually end up running the Doom safe lane here and throwing V-Tune up at top lane.
Yeah, I think they understand that you're probably just not wanting to deal with Tide Hunter. You don't want to feed away the treants of V-Tune, so this gives him a much more playable lane. FEC is still pretty happy with the Doom lane, all things considered, though. Lace can't just walk up, try to harass FBZ. You can't really play too much with the poison touch, especially once FBZ hits level 2, level 3. So he should still be able to farm, but this does give V-Tune a much better time in microing those treants and building up in that lane.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, mid lane, of course, you're having a look at no one against Yopaj. We kind of talked about this during the draft phase, John, but Yopaj shouldn't have too difficult of a time here against the mid-keeper of the light. See, the Flame Guard going to be pretty valuable here, but for now, Yopaj actually going for the Sleight of Fist Searing Chains combo. So maybe looking to get a bit more aggressive against the Coddle.
Yeah, I don't mind that. You've got enough of a signal from the Coddle as to when to dodge with a Sleight of Fist, as long as there's a quick wave to play with. Shouldn't be melting too hard. No one is starting to get some aggression, though, understanding that Yopaj hasn't used any Flame Guard at all, so he's got a nice window to just be aggressive. And his small camp is open, so no one, again, should be able to farm faster, if not at the same pace as Yopaj did last game.
Oh, top lane. Scam on the Viper, starting to drop very low here to the V-Tune on that Prophet. Was looking to jump in as well as mid lane. The Ember. Yopaj barely surviving. No one really starting to get the damage out here on the Keeper of the Light. There's another Illuminate. This time not going to land on the Ember. This mid lane, a kill could be coming at any moment as Yopaj. Next Sleight of Fist is up very soon. He might try to go for something onto no one next creep wave, but we'll have to see. Get very tense in the mid lane, it feels.
But I mean, this is on my PC.
All right. It turns out we've had a bit of a freeze going on here, so we're going to try and sort that out.
One would say it's hanged.
Well, meanwhile, bottom lane, Lace does end up going down. Obviously, nobody can see it at the moment. They can only see us, sadly, Jonathan, but it won't matter. We'll give you guys the radio commentary while we try to sort out these issues. V-Tune also ends up going down to top lane, and now they get the, they do get the, I suppose, the background view of what happens when we're casting while watching the game, Jonathan. There you go. We have very ugly faces while we're casting.
Yeah, we're just staring at the screens. We're not caring about our own faces. Great kill. It's picked up by Boom. There is a lot of aggression that can come out here as well. I mean, you're running Monkey King Viper. You will want to run down. The combination of Nature's Prophet plus Marcy isn't as aggressive. I mean, it's not like a Razor Marcy, right? Like, you're not getting much more from getting the dispose off. V-Tune doesn't have anything like a Blightstone to try and squish and make them squishier here as well. So you're really not able to leverage the Marcy aggressively as much. Now, you can harass out Scam, and we've seen Scam kind of drop low multiple times, but it's a Viper. Doesn't really care. As long as Jackie's farming there, you really don't mind.
Absolutely. But not too much is going on, ladies and gentlemen. 2 kills the way of Boom Esports. Again, trying to give you guys the radio commentary for now. 2-kill lead. Navi not able to find a kill quite yet. 1K net worth lead the way of Boom Esports, and currently pretty much every single lane is going Boom's way. The only saving grace right now for Navi is the fact that the Keeper of the Light is farming very well. but you kind of come to expect that from mid-care for the line. It's kind of hard not to find farm on this hero.
And it's not like no one's pulling massively ahead in comparison to Yopaj. Again, he's equal to Yopaj. You would really rather prefer to be up ahead in the lead, but Yopaj has done a great job of managing the lane. He's dodging out a lot of the Illuminates. He's not wasting too much resources and staying in the lane. He's managed to take some time to farm his own small camp. And now he does manage to get the chains, getting a little bit of damage in no one, but not really enough to pressure him out. But he's all the way down now on HP, and he's not going to have rune access. He doesn't have a bottle. It's a Kotl. You don't want that in your lane, so just gonna have to cop it for a little bit there.
Well, in the meantime, Skem almost ends up going down, and Yopaj seems to want to try and kill no one, but no one does get out of range and is going to be just fine. And no kills going on yet, ladies and gentlemen. You're really missing nothing, don't you worry. Still, 5 minutes in, 2 kills once again. Yopaj has a courier go down.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we do have a rotation out from Tim's here on the Tiny, at the very least, as Solo. Gonna spot that out and make sure that there's no gank attempt to come. It seems like there is currently a heavy emphasis in trying to focus down no one on the Keeper of the Light mid lane, but never mind that, because top lane, Sweet and Strong, is going to find himself in danger as Jackie almost gets the kill, but Sweet and Strong somehow gets his way out. And there we go, we're back into the game as Yopaj ends up finding Solo in that mid-river. It'll be the 3rd kill now for Boom.
Yeah, just building up, getting really aggressive. Saw Tim's drop fairly low in that movement down mid. Doesn't mind too much. 0-3 start is looking good for Boom, but it's not really translating to a huge net worth lead, mind you. Navi is still keeping up very nicely, although it's mainly Lays that's keeping up head-to-head. That is a Doom in a Tide lane, the most passive lane in this game, and Lays is going for the Midas, so maybe they can build off of that Doom once it does have Blink BKB. But your NP off much slower than you'd want it to. Your Kotl should still have good timing into the travels, and that's when we have to start to see the lines connect for Navi. They've got to be able to get that Dispost rebound with Illuminate spam on top and just find some kills to snowball off the back of, because when you give the strong of a start to Boom, it's a Yopaj Ember, Mike. You've already pointed out multiple times, but when this guy has a great start, it's pretty hard to stop him.
Certainly is. He's having a fantastic start so far, and well, so is Jackie on that Monkey King. He's been having a very good time up at top lane. They just really aren't able to slow him down, even with the Pros 1 Prophet. V-Tune just really struggling himself in terms of net worth, because there's just been so much aggression going up at top lane. The Pos 5 Viper certainly has been doing a fantastic job here with Skem. More rotations into the mid lane here, with Tim's trying to show up and find no one. They did place that deep observer ward down behind the tier 1 tower as well to try and get the vision on no one, but he's been very good at trying to avoid these gank attempts, as now Solo is going to show up on the Dazzle. They're really going to keep this Kotl protected. I mean, he's going to set the tempo of the game for Navi. Problem is now Solo's going to get caught out, tossed in right into the loving arms of Yopaj. He will try to heal up. Yopaj, remnants forward, not enough to get the kill. Solo barely surviving on 20 HP, but not for long. Skem is going to find him, and now no one. He's a sitting duck. Will go for a run, but Tim's is there, but misses out on the keeper. Whoopsie. Avalanche is going to connect, however. So will the chains, and Yopaj takes the Keeper of the Life's life mid-air, mid-toss, and that's the 5th kill of the game already for Boom.
They're doing a great job of just making this a tough game for no one. He's not able to leave his lane. He does have travels up. He can start to show up elsewhere, but that's a big courier kill. The Midas taken away from Lays for a minute and a half. That's a lot of time where you could possibly get 2 uses out from Midas. So, Boom, again, just getting everything they want, everything they need. Navi kind of clumping up top. We haven't seen action come out from the swords. They'll try onto Jackie, but
He's not an easy target, but they've got plenty of heroes around. Do they have a... Oh, they have the damage. Woo. That was close. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Lace does end up dropping here on the Sherm. I think Jackie was like 0.2 seconds away from the TP completing, by the way, there, John. In fact, can we get a replay of that? I want to see how close he really was.
Yeah, it was pretty tight, that timing. And it almost looked like he could have bailed out. That's the one issue you have, right? The Dispo's follow-through isn't great. They are getting some aggression here.
Yeah, Solo going to be targeted here by the Ember. Chains was already committed though, so Yopaj doesn't have a way to lock him down, but he could just run him down. Done. Slider Fist will be up in a moment. Chains out. That'll be enough. Another kill here for the Ember. 4-0 and 1 already for Yopaj.
Yeah, he's managed to build up really well. Now we can take a look back at that moment. See that TP?
See if we can actually see how long the TP was going to take. Very, very close. Oh, it's a point one.
Yikes.
That's close. Woo. Chains
Yeah.
out though. No one has been caught here in the mid lane, but Lightning Light is going to save the day. He'll be just fine. 1-7 though. 2K advantage. Boom Esports. They smoke up. They're not done yet. They want Lace down at the bot lane.
You're really bullying this Doom. I mean, he still doesn't have his Midas coming in yet.
Chains out, Tims. Avalanche will be there, though. A nice stun from Lace. And now the Tomb out onto the Ember. Navi, they're trying to make their way over to try and help out as V-Tune is going to be there, and so will no one. There should be the first kill onto the Ember, and it will be. Navi doing a great job of fighting back now as they found Tims. They'll find Skem. That'll be 3 down for the side of Boom Esports. And Navi, they punish heavily for the insolence of trying to go after Lace down a bot lane.
This kind of reminds me of that last Ember game we saw from Yopaj. He was doing well, and they get overly aggressive onto a target that's not easy to kill. I think Boom, again, it's not the biggest loss yet. It's still a good bounce back for Navi. A big network here to burst down, great use of that Doom, and they get a little bit of an opening to shove in mid. As long as Yopaj respects the Doom, you should still be okay, but you can't afford to bleed out like that a couple more times. Lace actually does get his Midas in, but as well, if they manage to kill that Doom before the Midas came in, that would really stall out the Doom. Still, Boom not dissuaded from that, Mike. Smoke up with Scam and Yopaj this time.
Absolutely. Up towards the top lane they go. V-Tune, bit of a sitting duck if he does stick around. Has the Maelstrom up, just hasn't brought it out. It's not going to save him anyways. The chains don't land. It's the creep wave. FBZ, though, has Ravage and is still rushing with Sweet and Strong. What a dispose. Skem, he should go down here and will. As Navi, they bring everyone up here to force the fight. They only catch the Viper as Yopaj still playing around. We'll go after Sweet and Strong. The Shallow Grave, gonna buy a bit of time. They'll stun him up, hold him back as Yopaj still wants to go forward, still wants a kill, but is gonna find nothing. Sweet and Strong avoiding the Remnant is gonna be just fine.
Just managing to force a lot of response up top, though. It's a huge commitment out from Navi, giving a lot of free space out for Jackie, pushing in bot, and they find one.
They will, Sweet and Strong. They'll even drop the Wukong's command, just in case. As V-Tune does rotate, he might find a decent trade onto Tims. As Tims, he'll go for a run, but the Urn is there. Does have the raindrops and the stick charges, though. He might actually make it. 30 HP, 20 HP, but survives on 10. Is now V-Tune. Oh, he's a big target to get if Boom can find it, and it looks like they just have. V-Tune still trying to run, but no way out. And Tims, I can't believe he survives it on 10 HP.
Yeah, Razor's Edge again for the side of Boom, but it pays off. They find the tower, they find the objective, they find the kill. It's Yopaj on the chase here.
Solo surely gets a TP away here and does. Yopaj gives up on that one. Instead, back down to the mid lane. I think they found the keeper. No one. Gonna be okay. No chains out this time around. He's by the T2 tower anyway, so probably would have been too deep of a dive onto the cot.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Boom. Just kind of settling back in. So is Navi, just farming up on Lace, going for that BKB blink on Doom. He has been given a lot of room to get that done. With a Maelstrom on V-Tune as well, just gunning for that early spell immune. Trying to get some ways of standing true to fights from Boom to dodge out on the Ravage of FBZ, which we haven't even seen yet. He's been managing to hold on to it, and they've been still finding these engagements on Boom's favor. For Boom, for their part, very close to the Maelstrom on Yopaj, even more damage output. Great way to clear out the Nature's Prophet spam there with the Treants. So you're going to be able to stop the split push if they do try to go for that play. And Boom will smoke up with it now, once more.
They will. Ravage still is not committed, but FBZ, he's going to blink up. Sweet and Strong. Nice positioning from him to break the smoke. He'll try to make a run with the Unleash, and that's going to be enough. The basic Dispel on that. Enough to get away from the chains of Yopaj. And again, the Ravage, it still is being held out here by FBZ, but You're waiting for that big moment here. He hasn't felt the need to throw it out quite yet.
Dire's top
Does
tower
have that blink
is
on
under
standby. Should be able to find good angles in the middle of these fights. Navi go for their own smoke out. They've got the Doom here.
Skem's going to break the smoke, though. Lace would have loved to move in with that Doom onto FBZ, but not going to be able to find the opportunity quite yet. They'll maybe try to force the tier 1 top tower here, Navi. Feeling Boom would be more than happy to force the fight, though, with the Ravage available. And so Navi going to have to find another time to come back for this. Just not safe enough. In the meantime, smoke up, Yopaj and Tims. They'll head down towards the south. They've spotted no one on that Keeper of the Light, and no one.
Dire's
Senses something is wrong here. We'll stay on the low ground. See nothing yet, but boom, they know exactly where no one is. By that tier 2 tower. No one seems to be very well aware they are hunting him down at the moment. Is he going to show? Upaj will show up. Does see no one for a moment. Gets the chains off. Forces the rotations. That's all he wanted.
Drag 2 more heroes down bot. They don't overcommit. They play it safe. And they keep the farm game going. Only a 1k lead for Boom, so not a massive amount. Navi has been able to keep up pace with no one and Lace. And they have been really patient. Lace, again, holding on to his own Doom here as well, while FBC holds on to the Ravage. Probably not looking for that engage against these tanky heroes. The big difference really lies here with V-Tune and Jackie. Jackie's just so far ahead. 2k ahead of our Nature's Prophet. The split push just not coming out yet from the NP either. He does have the shards, so you can kind of just work the lanes out with your Sprout now, but not the easiest game to get that done, for sure.
Ace. Spotted here by a Skem. Ace is on here from the Viper. It's a massive kill if they can find it. Tims, Humbless Toys the wrong way around. No one is there to help out, and Lace is going to be okay to walk out of this one. A lot of damage being dealt by that Pos 5 Viper, but no backup there to really knock down Lace. He's fine to just walk away and be protected here by his team. And for Lace, the longer this game goes on, the better. He is playing Doom with Midas after all. He'd love to go into that ultra late stage of the game as Skem. This time around going to find no one. FBZ is there, again with the Ravage available, but not throwing it out quite yet. There it is now. Ravage does connect onto one only as Lace is dropping rather low, but the Illuminate heals are going to come out with the Shallow Grave. Skem in trouble, should drop here on the Viper and will do so, but boom. Do they want to keep the fight going? Sweet and strong, may just drop and does. Even Jackie showing up down the Monkey King. B, looks like they'll be happy to back off for now. Just a 1-for-1 trade. Nothing else going to come out of this, but boom, they'll head back down to the mid-tier 1 tower. See if they can try to settle that down.
Yeah, you still have the Doom ready to go on Lace, though, as FBZ just had to Ravage to prevent that from being used on him. And they are still staying here on Boom's end.
They are. Solo, going to be found out this time by Jackie. Avalanche will connect, Toss will be up, and there's just no chance to be able to get the Shallow Grave off here for the Dazzle. There's Jackie now, they do spot out Lace. They don't have a way to lock him down, however. No Avalanche, no Toss, and no Gush even from FBZ available. So instead, back up towards that top tier 1 tower, somewhere where no one isn't, so they can actually get this tier 1 without having their creep wave forced back every 2 seconds.
And it's not the biggest tower to take, but does give a little bit more wiggle room for Boom to just constantly contest that triangle. Navi has not had a hold there for at least a minute or two. They are forced to play elsewhere. V-Tune still inching closer into that BKB, using the treants nicely now to shove in bot himself, and should be able to find a nice objective for his troubles. Greater treants are still doing a lot of work at this point in the game. Smoke out from Navi. Lace, again, Doom at the ready, could find a big kill.
They could. No one. He's a nice target, but a quick blink out. They are still chasing. Sweet and Strong is there with the rebound, tumblers, and dispose. They commit the Doom immediately. FBZ surely has no way to survive this. Jackie is around to try and help, but he won't bother. Way too much being thrown out at the tide. Navi, that's a very nice kill for them to pick up.
Yeah, it's exactly what they need, killing off the Tide Hunter. Right now, Boom, all their cores are kind of behind Navi, except for Jackie. So it is going all in on the Monkey King, all in on Jack Boys once more. Yopaj in the middle of here. We might find solo, but he is going for the TP play.
Gonna be just fine. No vision around to see him in that tree line. So 7 to 11 now. 1k advantage the way of Boom. Very close matchup here is bottom lane, Jackie. He's a huge kill to secure. Wukong's command is out. He's going to find a way out of this team fight, but he's copping so much damage. There's just no way. Well, Jackie caught with his pants down now at bot lane. He's going to get punished heavily by Navi. These are kills that Boom going to be careful not to give away, because suddenly the net worth, the advantage may just shift back the way of Navi.
I'm a bit surprised Boom, after losing FBZ, didn't immediately group up, because that was Lays without Doom. You could actually make some big plays happen. You're kind of ready to go with Yopaj on hand, but they allow Navi to actually dictate that pace now, and you can see Navi kind of revitalized. I understand this game is still really close, 8-11, less than 1k lead for Boom, but again, all your cores in Navi are doing better than Yopaj and FBZ right now. And Jackie with his lead, it's still pretty good, but it's not that wide of a lead here, Mike.
You're getting to that point with Navi, they've just taken enough time to keep that farm going, where they're just starting to out-farm the side of Boom Esports, who have been running around chasing Navi. Speaking of, Lace, spotted out by Skem. Tim's around with the Avalanche and the toss back into the Viper. Lace, he's going to pop that BKB and walk away. We'll be just fine to do so. No backup after the BKB is popped, so Lace will survive another day, but Boom, they will try to focus down the mid-tier 1 tower in the meantime. You do have that Ravage to play with as well, so they feel very confident here on the side of Boom. It's going to be no problem securing the mid-tier 1 tower.
That helps even out the map a little bit more, allows them to exert that control in the bot jungle. You do have good vision coming out from Navi, so they've got a general idea as to where Boom's playing with that cliff where they have. Boom just going to be kind of walking around, trying to see if anyone steps into that mid. No one from Navi will, not no one player, but they are still, they're fine with this on Navi. They're split pushing with Vichun. They're getting the build up they want on the NP. They're getting that investment back from Lace. He does have the blink on the Doom now. They should be able to play. Doom is off cooldown as well, but Boom will be the ones to smoke out here.
Where do they head? Up towards top lane. FBZ is going to just deal with this creep wave coming in from Vichun. Of course, Vichun does have the shards up, so those greater treants going to be very annoying to try and deal with throughout this game now. And well, Boom, they do roam through the dire jungle, but they're going to find nothing. Nobody being caught out, and Navi now, they counter smoke. 3 smoked on their end of things, but they're running towards the dire triangle, and no one around there either. Though pings are coming out towards the mid lane, maybe trying to snipe Jackie here on that Monkey King, and he does show up in the mid lane, so they make the jump in. There's Lace there with the stun out into the Doom. BKB was there in time, but it may not help the cause as Jackie. He's trying to man up with the Dingu Mastery. He will go down eventually, though, as Navi. Off to a great start with this team fight. Still going for more now as Skem does get caught. FBZ looking for a Ravage. Won't find one yet, but they will find Solo, and they even found Vichun on the Nature's Prophet. They even out the team fight.
It helps balance that out. Jackie is still a bigger kill for Navi to find, so overall they're still happy. But Boom takes that fight without having to expand their own big cooldowns. Ravage still ready in FBZ. For Navi, they had to let go of that Doom. So there is a moment here for Boom when the respawns are up, they could just clump back up again. They've got the Ags on FBZ to help with the deep push. They've got the Ravage for the incoming team fight. They've got an advantage over Navi in terms of what they have on hand. And that is something that they should choose to play with, right? Like every single time you see Lace use that Doom, in the following fights, he's not going to really contribute too much. And he will have a little bit more in the tank. But Boom will opt to just go back to farm a little bit and get that build up they want. Start to get Jackie online. Does have the Mage Slayer up. Is going for the Scotty next. So not going for the full Blood Torrent just yet. But again, Navi, they're doing a great job of keeping this game really, really even.
They certainly are, John. They certainly are here, Navi. There comes a point as well, like we already kind of mentioned this, but the Doom, obviously just going to farm out of his mind as the game goes on. Even the Prophet, though, it gets to a point where it just feels like Vichun has infinite scaling. You're going to get rid of those brutes eventually because you've got, 0 cooldown teleportation at level 25. And things can get very frustrating for Boom if they allow the game to go that far in. No one. Down a bot lane is going to be prepped to defend, but Boom are waiting for someone to show their face. Luminate will make it obvious no one's there. BKB is forced out. No one. He could TP if he wants, but for now he'll stick around with the BKB, and eventually he will get out just fine.
Backs off. BKB expended. Pretty nice to force that out for Boom's end, but not going to be able to find anything from it. Navi just jumped towards the top jungle here as well, where they do have really good control. And into the pit they go. We got decent output with V-Tune and that sidekick running. Boom have to know something's up, but they don't have vision around the pit. This is going to be a freebie for Navi.
Well, that it will be. Roshan could go freely the way of Navi as Boom. They're focused in on that bottom tier 2 tower, but this is a much bigger win for Navi. Boom, I don't know if they don't realize or they just don't think they can take the fight. I think it's more of a sense that they can't realize this one. They are going to TP into that outpost and try to contest now, but it's all too late. It's only Skem showing up, so the Aegis is going to go the way of Boom for free. And they didn't even find the bottom tier 2 tower. In fact, now Skem does get caught out, will get taken down, though Tims is going to move in with the Avalanche, forcing out the BKBs early, and now the double chain's out, but Lace is going to move in. Yopash does have his Lincolns broken, but the Doom did not come out. As Navi, they want to back out of here, and it seems like they're going to be able to do so. They do not get held down by Boom. And Boom, they really lost out on quite a bit there. No Roshan, tier 2 tower didn't go down, and no kills.
Didn't manage to find a good angle for the Ravage from FZ, seeing those BKBs popped on. Didn't have anything to play with it though. Just
Trying to break
tagging
the
bit.
Lincolns on Yopaj to get the Doom off. Lace can be chased down. Izzy still has the Ravage up. They'll toss the Doom back. Lace, he doesn't have a BKB to use right now, so he's a bit of a sitting duck. And eventually will drop. Yopaj able to take the kill. It will get everyone else out of there, but that's still going to be a pretty valuable pickup here for the dire end of things.
And it's a pretty high net worth hero. In fact, all the cores of Navi are pretty juicy kills with how evenly they're farmed right now. And Boom can be happy enough. Navi did not expend a Doom though that entire time, so on to respawn. Lace still has some play left here.
What are they chasing now? Well, they found V-Tune. He's got Skem down, but he's a bit of a sitting duck here. BKB is not up and available either. Oh, V-Tune, that's a big pick-off to give away to Boom. I mean, power runes are important, but not worth your life like that. Boom, they punish heavily.
Yeah, they managed to turn the scenario around. The Aegis advantage doesn't exist. Net worth is still relatively even, but that felt like Navi. That was their moment to build some momentum up. Take more objectives, start to threaten tier 2s, take the outpost, secure that top jungle, and they're gonna miss out. Jackie, still farming like a madman, is keeping up quite nicely, and it does feel like right until we get the level 20 talent of V-Tune up, the Monkey King at even farm is just gonna do a lot more. Like Jackie has greater damage output, he's got mobility, not quite the same as the teleportation, but it is a bit sneakier. Jumping around the tree line, and his Scotty is 2 parts away, so the build-up is coming through for Boom to kind of get that point. Even if you try to play split push for Navi, as we pointed out, FBZ with the Ags is just a really great way of ensuring that your towers are always protected, and Yopaj has the mobility to match where V-Tune wants to go. So
I love it. Look at this. Look at this. He got like a here we go. This is the post rank is really fun. A little link now. I can't wait to see how long range this is going to be.
yeah, it's gonna be pretty. If only we had Tim's Rubik. I would love to see Rubik with Psychic Advantage as well, but it's still in this pose. That is also funny. I mean, this spell just looks so dumb when it animates with this kind of range, because you don't even touch him as Marcy. It's just to get lifted. She just has psychic powers or something.
Yeah.
Or wait, is it psychic powers, or does Marcy's hand stretch out like an elastic band or something? Which one is
One
it?
Piece, John. This isn't One Piece, even though I know you don't understand the reference because you've never watched the damn anime. Shout out to all the OP fans out there. How great was 1056? Scan out. RV. Gonna go for a smoke, but they are grouped up. to go whenever.
Yeah,
Too safe here.
the one issue we have with Navi's draft here is like we've seen Kotal towards the later points of the game where it can fall a bit flat. Like it still has relevance, but it's super tricky in trying to maximize that presence. Like it almost feels like a Tinker without rearm, but you know it kind of plays the same way towards late game where you're trying to hex someone, trying to get them bursted down without being picked off. So you're trying to isolate one hero going a bit far. And speaking of isolate, no one is sort of alone here.
He is. The FBZ gonna find solo first. So Tims will make the jump in, but the toss back, it's way off the mark. They won't go any further. Bit of an error there, just going for the Centaur rather than the Dazzle. Meanwhile, Jackie will be able to find the bottom tier 2 tower while all this is happening. Even picks up the Lincoln Sphere now as well, the Monkey King, so feeling much safer against the Doom. Still 12 to 15, very slight net worth lead the way of Boom Esports, but nothing to write home about. Very, very close game. It's Dota Plus thinking. 72% the way of Boom Esports according to Dota Plus.
Yeah, I sort of agree with that. I feel like Navi, again, their timing just kind of tapers off a little bit. They do have double Doom ready on Lace, so that could be what they play off the back off now. Just try to get multiple heroes locked in, clean up the team fights from there. Level 20 talents inching closer for V-Tune as well, and that's the massive one for the Nature's Prophet, as Navi will go for their own smoke play here.
And he is. They are Navi mid lane. They have found FBZ on the tide. It's going to be a nice easy pick off. FBZ way too deep in that mid lane. No help around him. Will drop. Navi, they're going to group up. They want to force the fight without the Ravage available. 60 seconds without that tide. No buyback. Oh, they might find Jackie. V-Tune. You should have seen him. Sprout is there. They've got the leash up as well. Jackie, he'll BKB up and has to TP away. But he's going to be alright. So Navi, knowing the BKB is down now, might be able to force another team fight. You've still got 30 seconds without FBZ. They're going to try off the Opage, but he will remnant out as well. Lincoln is broken. Scam. Glimmer Cape away, but this time they should be able to find him. 4 staff away now as Lace is chasing, but just can't catch.
Great dodges from both teams to prevent further losses. This is a bit of that turning point. Sheepstick out on our Keeper of the Light, so no one's going to be able to get some initial control. And maybe play off the broken Lincolns now and just start to find that single target to pick off. And that cast rage on the side of Ice is pretty ridiculous in the Kotal. Can kind of cover your screen there if you're not careful.
It certainly is, John. They've even got the refresher orb up on Lace, and look at this, a smoke up at Navi. They're on the high ground to break the smoke. Sweet and Strong will move in. Lace, he'll get the Doom off. It's a great start to the team fight. Lace again refreshing. Who does he Doom up next? No one quite yet, but he'll go after Skem on that Viper. Meanwhile, FBZ still being focused down, but Jackie trying to protect his V-Tune. Gonna give his own life away for the sake of the Tidehunter kill. I mean, it's something. A 2-for-1 trade this far for Navi. I'm just not sure if it's worth V-Tune trading his life for the Tide.
No, definitely not. Like, they take away the Ravage in this team fight as well. I mean, the Doom was expended, but it's not the kind of trade you want, because Jackie's still going to be ahead of you. He's going to be happy that the opposing pause one's gone. Lace did refresh, so he has a Doom at the ready, but he didn't see the opportunity for the double Doom coming out here. Boom lose a little bit more, and Navi does have that slight lead in their favor. But without the Nature's Prophet, it doesn't feel like you're actually able to siege by yourself. You do need a summons here.
Lincoln's broken. They'll make the jump in. Doom is out. Jackie, a massive target here for the side of Navi to claim. He is dropping low and being stun locked so darn much. He doesn't even get a chance to fight back. But Tims, a 4-man avalanche out from our Tiny. They'll go for the fight anyway, even without the Monkey King. FBZ, he's up in 4 seconds. They'll take down 2 of them. A buyback from Sweet and Strong, but now the chain's out. Lace gonna try and fight back. Hex is there onto the Ember. Can they burst down Yopage? It seems like they just Maisie does go down. Navi putting up a fight now. So they'll chase down Skem for another. Skem's gonna be fine with the 4 staff away. Tims, the cop and illuminate. will try to run, but the tossback is there from Sweden Strong. So Yule's up. But where's the tide? EZ not popping the Ravage either. They'll lose Tims. The tier 3 tower now under siege by Navi.
Ooh.
Another dispose. Look at the range on that, John. Onto the Viper. Very balanced.
Yep, you reach so far away, along with the Hex coming through from Navi. They've just been playing really great. FBZ just can't Ravage. Even while his 2 supports were up, they have no damage to follow through. So they are forced to just surrender one set of racks. Navi, well and truly in the lead now, in control of this game with one lane constantly shoving away. And boom, they can handle super creeps with this build-up from FBZ, but they need to be cautious about going so far forward. We've seen this multiple times, but boom, again, sometimes just get a little overconfident in how far they can push the envelope, and then they get punished by that hold. You cannot afford to lose Jackie, or especially Yopaj, going off for a chase like that. Like, you might need more than just the Lincolns here. Maybe the refresh helps your cause out. You can just refresh up and try to keep playing with a ton of remnants instead to stay safe here.
Roshan will be the next big objective for either side. Boom, obviously understand they can't let this one go for free. They'll try to take their outpost back. Keep in mind, VTune just picked up a Satanic on his side of things on the Prophet, so a bit more sustain on him as they pop the drums. They move in, Sweden Strong. Might get taken down straight away as the Wukong's command. Gonna be very nice here from Jackie. BKBs are out from Navi to try and force the fight back. Who's actually losing this one though? Scam is gonna drop it. There's your Ravage. Only connecting onto the Doom, but they will find Laces now. Yopaj onto Solo. Might be able to find the Dazzles. The toss-up is there from Tims. Cancelling off that TP. More buybacks coming up from Navi. They don't want to let this Roshan go down the way of Boom. Without Ravage up on FBZ, in fact, speaking of FBZ, he's currently being stalked by VTune. They had the vision, but now decide the Vice. Out onto Tims, holding down the Tiny. As VTune, what a 4-star into a toss back. Tims! What a play out from the Tiny. There's Lace. Gonna make a run back, and we'll do so with the BKB. That's a very cheeky 4-star toss back though from Tims.
And that was something else. Gets the angle out, managed to get that big kill in Nature's Prophet, and boom, they reel back a little bit of that net worth. They're still behind in terms of what they're getting out of the map. Roshan is up, but they're not able to immediately commit on that pit. They don't have the protection of the Ravage on FBZ. And Navi still has a lot of bite in them left, with the Doom still ready to go on Lace. Just gonna have to hold back and try to get that build up, get the items they need. Yopaj, his Ags has, again, allowed him to really chase out. The refresh is gonna amplify how far he chases and how slippery he gets. You will have to be quite fast with the Hexes here, and quite fast with a follow-up on the Dispose to hold down that Ember. But even Jackie, full Scotty up, lots of stats to play with. Bloodtorn next.
Here we go. Tims not going to land the initial avalanche, but they still found the Boundless onto Sweden Strong. He'll break the Lincolns of Jackie, but that's about all he's going to get out of this. And Boom now have first dibs on Roshan. Second Rosh of the game. Shards are up, of course. No one trying to stick around to slow this one down with the Illuminate spam, but he can't stick around too long as Boom. They will take over that Radiant Triangle. Eventually this Roshan should go freely the way of Boom Esports. Navi just have to accept the fact they are not going to be able to take it.
Just going to have to be patient. This will give Boom the opportunity now to go for the high ground if they want to. And they will pass the shards onto FBZ as well. So you're getting a lot more now from the Anchor Smash. If they do go onto the high ground with that Anchor Smash, it doesn't take too long to melt.
They'll find Solo top lane. Remnants forward here from Yopaj. Chains out. They'll find the Dazzle. They kill to go the way of Boom as now TP's down towards the bot lane. They want to force another fight. Vision and Lace maybe not expecting this, but they really would love to pick off that Doom once again. Mind though, they are spotted on the creep wave here, Boom, so Navi, they are going to back their way out successfully. Still just a 1k net worth lead, John. This game has been pretty darn close, I've got to say.
It's Razor's Edge again. Navi is just showing us they've got a lot of fight left in them. They're doing the split rush quite nicely. A lot of this game is reliant on Lays getting a good Doom off and the Hex coming out from no one. And every single time we see some of those big fights break out, they do manage to find the initial targets. Doom just has to really be cautious about that. They've got enough Linken's breakers on Navi to keep that threat constant. And they even have a full Aeon disc up on Lace, so he's going to be protected. He should at least be able to get off one of his Dooms, if not both Dooms off in the middle of these fights. And that might catch Boom off guard, because every single target that does get doomed up is massive. You doom up Jackie, that's a lot of damage gone. You doom up FBZ, that's a lot of control gone. You doom up Yopunch, and that's a lot of everything gone. So no matter what you do here for Lace, it's always going to work out.
Certainly feels that way. Lace really just trying to ensure he can get these double Dooms off. And, well, speaking of the devil, Lace, he's going to get spotted here by Jackie, but VTune is going to be around as they make the jump in on Tim's. Wukong's command is out. Lace, he'll go immediately for a TP out. They should have no way to cancel. No Basher available on the Monkey King yet. That Lace is going to be just fine. He's just so important on this Doom. Like, you really cannot afford to lose Lace before these team fights begin. He's just way too impactful.
Yeah, you need that Doom. Like, if it's gone, it opens up so many angles for Boom, although.
Jump in, Jackie, dispose. Oh, they throw him to the low ground. Oh, they've thrown him to the low ground, and now the Boundless is there on Lace, but he's still okay. Instead, the Doom was out onto Tim's. He's still fine, though. In fact, never mind, the Doom never came out. Solo. He might just drop as FBZ jumps in for a Ravage, only connecting on the Keeper, however. VTune, he had the BKB in time. The only hero to go down throughout all this was the Dazzle. And that initial dispose, I'm not sure if we have a replay on that. I believe Jackie got caught out of position, and the dispose throwed him to a place where he was in position all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward. I think it caught him mid-tree dance as well. So just dragged him off to a very weird angle, kind of cut off the momentum from Navi, and just kind of gave Boom a freebie. They did have to pot a lot from there. Yeah,
was that the dispose?
Yeah,
it was, right?
For sure. Nothing else could have done that. No, I don't think the Coddle did it. Yeah, definitely the dispose, and very awkward angle. Just turning that around for Boom and managed to get that done. Didn't get as much as they'd want, but it does lead into the tier 2s, so they'd even up the map a lot more. And they still have a lot of time on that Aegis. Minute 20, starting to tick down. They could look to play aggressive once more before it fades.
Again, a very close matchup, John. 5k advantage. VTune, be very careful down at that bot lane. He does reveal himself. The Remnants forward, but can they get the chains? Not quite. VTune's going to be okay.
Radiant are scanning.
Navi.
Wait.
Yes.
I think I was looking back at this actual stream on Lay. He was mid-spring when he got disposed, but then he ended up in his Primal Spring location.
Right.
So, but he still got stunned. So that we learned something new, Mike. I guess. Okay. I don't know what we learned, but we learned something.
That's a feature, Jonathan. That's what we learned. A new feature in Dota 2. Primal Spring over rebound, over dispose. Apparently. There you go. Boom. Trying to hunt down the top lane. Nobody around, though. Of course, they're just trying to hunt VTune, who's constantly split pushing here on the Prophet. Not going to find what they wanted, but they'll have to start the D push now, as Navi could go for a smoke of their own, but it does seem like they're rather hesitant right now. Not wanting to fight into Boom at the moment. They'll just keep split pushing for now. More hexes being built up as well, Navi. John Lace has a side device queued up himself. So even more disable on the way here for Navi. I think for Lace, he just wants his own way to break Lincoln Spheres. It must be very annoying having to rely on everyone else to do it for you. Never hurts to have more disable as well.
I think he'd really wish he had something like a Fade Grenade right now. Really easy way of just having a smoke break or having a Lincoln's break. Are still clumped up in a good area here, though.
Jump in. They'll find Skem. That'll be the +5 Viper. Not too big of a deal, but a decent enough kill here for Navi. certainly going to make them feel a little bit more confident on the map, just knowing the pos 5 is down. So they do smoke up and try to force another fight.
The seeds of
Boom, they'll hang around their dire jungle for now as well. They see if they can try to make it to the high ground here, as they do go around the long way. With the Roshan pit into the top lane. Boom, doing a pretty good job of just avoiding them on the map. RV. Oh, they see Yopaj. That's a big one. Can they break the Lincolns? They have done so. They stun him up, but no, another Lincoln Sphere. Blocking it the way. The Doom never came out, so Yopaj, he can keep going. In fact, it was a Lotus Sword onto the Doom. Lace ends up going down. Solo goes as well. Tips out to FBZ. He got the Lotus Orb and the Lincolns, perhaps. We're going to need a replay of that one. It all happened too fast.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I felt like maybe the Lincolns came from Jackie, but it could have been either one. Just a great stacking of that protection, and that's really the only way to stop that Doom. Just get multiple Lincolns out, they make use of it well, although...
Hold that replay for a moment. Jackie in trouble. Disposes there onto Tim's. They'll make the jump in. Lace also making the jump in now as Tim somehow still alive. Jump in from Yopaj though. However, Jackie's going to drop. Lace takes care of it. Doom's still up. Yopaj, he'll remnant towards the other side. And should be okay, but the chase is on. He'll try for just to hide in the tree line, and now the TP up, but they see him. Oh, they see him. He was short on mana. He's going to drop. Massive turnaround from Navi.
Yeah, after a really awkward fight right before, they get a couple of buybacks and they turn it around. They've got an opportunity to go onto the high ground once more, force Boom to commit for the buybacks. Roshan not quite up, so the window for that still a little bit off. They should have a good path to the high ground. Fortunately for Boom, FBZ is up, so you do have the gush to kind of slow this one down just a tad.
It's very hard to go into that AoE gush even with the Greater Treants. Bijun though, gonna get to work. Tim's is there. Avalanche up at the side of Vice. Immediate onto the tiny bit of Ravage. Does connect onto 4 heroes. A great blinding light though no one. Saves the day as Tim's still in trouble. They'll try to aim down Vichun on the Prophet. Shallow Grave, however, gonna buy a bit of time for Vichun to try and TP out of there, but surely he goes down. Just a sitting duck. He will drop. Yopaj trying to chase for a bit more, but nobody else around. It'll be a 1-for-1 here between Navi and Boom. Navi forced to back off without their Nature's Prophet.
It's a pretty big pickoff they got on Tim's, getting immediate dieback. And fortunately for both sides, Roshan is a little bit of a longer timer, so no one's going to have a head start on that objective. It is kind of funny to watch this push attempt, though. Like, you see the gush come out, and you see the Illuminate heal up when the Spirit forms up. It's like nothing happens. So you do have this great D-push from FBZ, but the Illuminate is superior because it also heals the creep wave while clearing out the enemy creep wave. So hey, what can you do?
What a spell, John. What a spell. You look at that the Dota Plus win probability graph, John. It's been all over the place for now. It's a bit of a wild ride here. Navi now 65% probability of winning. The Boom's still sitting at 35%. So it's going to be all about this next Roshan, though. I can almost guarantee the team that picks up this Aegis is going to have their own win probability just skyrocket. Navi already prepping, in position in that Radiant Triangle for that next Roshan plate. Boom Esports hanging around their own dire jungle, ready to go. This Roshan will spawn up in 23 seconds. They've just got to try and find a way to control Lace in this next team fight. And Lace, well, he's going to be careful. They are very well aware of these Dooms flying out, and of course that last time around the Lotus Orb bounced back to the Doom kind of ruined the team fight for Navi. They can't afford to let that happen.
They've been stacking those Lotuses really well on Boom, so gonna have to be really cautious in jumping that one target. Roche is back up, does have a free refresh as well, so gonna be big for Lace and for FBZ on either side to pick that up. Of course, they're going to want to cover the buybacks that Boom did expend, so high priority for Boom to go in there, but they've got to find a smart way about it. Navi smoked up on that high ground.
The 4-man smoke, the wraparound around the Roshan pit once again. Through the dire jungle is where they'll go. Boom, in that similar position, trying to avoid Navi. A lot of hesitation from both sides to run into each other, as we do have another Lotus Orb coming out here for Tim's.
Radiant are scanning.
Everything available for both sides. They're ready to go whenever. In the meantime, Vichun going to be very annoying, forcing Boom back to defend here, but Yopaj can do it on the Ember, no problem. And Boom can't really afford to leave the Roshan pit area right now. As Navi might just get it started. They TP right into the pit and try to sneak it away from Boom Esports. It does have a refresher shard up, so you might have 3 Dooms available on Lace very soon. Skem is going to try to move in with the Glimmer Cape and get some vision. They'll see Lace in the Doom. He does make his way back out. Tim's going to show up. Lotus Orb is there, though. They can't throw out the Doom onto the Tiny yet. Lace, he'll be fine, though, with the BKB, just to get a bit of harassment out. BKB's going to wear off, though, for Navi's Doom. Doom getting something out of that small engagement they did just have. Keep in mind, in the meantime, Vichun's still split pushing the bot lane, as the Prophet being very frustrating here for Boom. They are going to try and rush the Radiant Triangle.
Is under attack.
But the high ground, Tim's. We'll see them now with the vision down. Avalanche toss is out. Lace, he doesn't have the BKB available. He'll refresh though. There's your BKB out. Another Aeon discharge as well, but Lace is forced to just try and TP as the Ravage comes in again from FBZ. That's the Doom down for 2 minutes without buyback. They do lose the bottom tier 3 tower in the meantime because Vichun takes care of it. But Roshan should go the way of Boom Esports. That'll be a refresh shard as well to go the way of FBZ, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. They're going to have potentially lots of stacked Ravages coming out from FBZ. Although he could just use it now to force a fight immediately onto the high ground with the remaining heroes from Navi. Secondary life coming out for Jackie, more than willing to stand forward. And of course the cheese to kind of help you stay alive here as well for FBZ to keep up. Navi's still doing a good job with the split pushing though. They're still managing to force the response out from Boom every single time. They're not really able to catch out the Kotl there as well. So you are still applying so much more map pressure here on Navi. Boom, they take these wins, but they're not shrinking that control down. They need to be able to pierce into the high ground. They need to be able to at least even out one lane, so it'll slow down that split push by just a tad. But you're playing against a Nature's Prophet. You know, it's 51 minutes in. This is how the games tend to go.
Yeah, he just keeps TPing back to the... Look at this. Look at Vichun. How annoying. No cooldown on teleport. He just keeps doing it. Why not? I mean, backdoor's at least going to kick in this time around, but Vichun, he could just keep doing this.
Oh, nothing to stop him. Just TP around the lane, get the Sprout, TP away, go farm, keep building up. Has a good lead now on the Nature's Prophet. The investment on him has been paying off in a really great way, as long as he's not caught. I think that's a big caveat. If the NP is caught in the middle of these fights, it's not that great. And Vichun just TPs away before Yopaj can get in.
Yeah.
And just rinse and repeat. Just keep doing this.
Oh, wait a minute. Yopaj, he's caught him out this time. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. But the BKB's there. Vichun's still fine. They needed Jackie to be around because he's the only one up with a basher. No way to cancel the TP without it. Not through the BKB. And in case anyone's watching this Dota tournament for the first time and wondering why there's a hero that can TP across the map with 0 cooldown, we don't know either. We don't know. It's just a Dota thing.
Because it's funny. This is peak comedy right here. Vichun's just he's it's fun. What can you do? It's hilarious. This is why Dota's fun, because stuff like this happens.
Yeah. Stuff like this happens. Thank you for that quote, John X-Fire. Legendary Dota quote from our resident John X-Fire here. So
wait, there's more than one? I'm the resident one here, so where are the other ones? God, what's wrong? Why are there multiples? You sure you want that?
Not really, John. Definitely not. Boom Esports. Still in that Radiant Triangle. Still waiting very patiently. Another creep army through the bot lane. 10k advantage, but it really means nothing when you're against the Prophet. Vtune, you know, he's not playing Dota right now, John. He's playing his.
Look at
what
your
is he playing, John? What is it?
He's just standing there. He's playing like StarCraft or something. He's just, you know, he's Terran. He's just making sure his barracks are there and spamming out the Space Marines. That's it. This is it. His wave of Space Marines always running up, forcing a counter build. It's not fun, but yeah, they're doing a great job of Navi to just keep this game within their reach. I mean, look at their high ground. Everything's still standing.
Woo! FBZ's all right. They broke the Lincolns, but Dispose was not there in time.
What do you do? It's 54 minutes in. Tier 3 still stand for Navi. They're the ones with the NH's profit.
Tim's. He has found the Doom, John. Toss back into Scam. Jackie, gonna be there to follow up. Lace, how do you survive this one? Navi are not coming in to help out, so Lace may just be sacrificed. He does have buyback, though. Very nice pick off there from Tim's, and boom. We'll see if they can try to force the buyback. Problem is, John, they might have to go back and defend bot lane again. But Yopaj will take care of it.
He's gonna have to. No one else can really get that done for them. At least he does clear out the creep wave fast. They are going onto the mid. Gonna be a nice tower to take, a nice set of racks to take. Only 40 seconds left on that Aegis though. So a tight window for Jackie, but the damage is there, more than enough to get that done.
Everything onto Jackie, just double Lincolns, Lotus Orbs, everything. They'll get the tier 3 tower. That'll be about it. They don't want to go too much further. Risking a bad team fight here against Navi.
Just watching Yopaj slide a fist for like a full 5 seconds, 2 seconds, because the creep wave is pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's
good laugh.
Well,
John, on the brighter side, 5 minutes till tier 5 items.
Give me my Giant's Ring on Jackie. You know what? An Ex Machina will actually break this game. Because you refresh Lincolns.
Why would you want that just? Ex Machina on what, like Doom or some crap? Vtune? Oh, BKB out. Should be alright, unless they can get the bash off here with Jackie. And no, he's not going to get lucky. 2 shots. Wasn't enough. Sometimes Gaben blesses you and sometimes he doesn't. Not this time around for Jackie.
Yeah, Ex Machina? What do you mean? Yeah, Ex Machina just to have more Lincolns. Just to have more BKB on one hero. How many more will you have to pop a Navi? You gotta pop them all.
Absolutely. What else, John? I mean, a giant ring on, like, Lace would be nice, right? Like, just a huge dude.
Oh, yeah, he's probably one of the bigger models outside of Dragon Knight and Dragon Form. And the Giant's Ring. Doom with Giant's Ring BKB, it's actually pretty funny to see it. And when he swings his cleaver with Infernal Blade, it's quite the sight, Mike.
It sure is, John. Oh, goodness, it would be a lot of fun to watch. Still, 4 minutes, you know. Every time I say it, I end up jinxing it, so I shouldn't have said it to begin with, but, you know. Surely this time around, considering we have Rat Dota going on right now, you'd think that there's going to be an opportunity. Though I say that, Navi, they're about to ruin it for everyone as they are smoked up and trying to hunt down Yopaj on the Ember. There's your Hex out. They've got the Ember. Secure it up. Taken down. Surely as he does drop it, here comes Tim's. A toss back onto the Keeper. Lace trying to refresh. Fight back, but they've got the Coddle. They do take down no one. Solo, he won't be able to TP out either. Yule Scepter is there. So boom, they do effectively punish the side of Navi. Problem is Vtune still split pushing.
You do what you gotta do there, Mikey. He's not gonna find that melee racks, and they did force the buyback from Yopaj. You're fairly happy on Navi, you don't lose anything more than your Kotl and your Dazzle. Your Doom's still alive, your Nature's Prophet is still running around. We're inching closer towards that 60-minute mark. So I'm hoping, you know, just do a Christmas truce right now. Wait for 60 minutes. Give us Giant's Ring. If Boom finds a Giant's Ring, trade it with Navi. Gentleman's agreement. Give it to the Doom. I want to see that model. It is very funny.
It's very, very fun to watch.
A Giant's Ring tied, blinking in and Ravage. That's pretty terrifying.
Uh-oh. Dispose is also terrifying, Don. Jackie, he'll cop the Doom. He might just drop and does. Buyback available, but how do you get back into this team fight? Scam also caught on the Viper. Whoa. Ravage is their FBZ. He's caught everyone. Yopaj jumps in. Another Ravage out. The Doom in huge trouble as Lace is going to drop. Buybacks being expended left, right, and center here by Navi to try and come back into this one. Punish Boom for their insolence, but Tim's... Oh, he might just make it.
Ooh.
Jackie's back here as well, John. They've got to be very cautious now for Navi. They don't have many buybacks.
Ooh.
The toss, though. Oh, the creep wave. It spawns right as they go for the toss. Boom need to back out of here. Navi, they can hold high ground knowing it's a 4v5. Oh, that's so unlucky. Sometimes you just have to watch the timer.
Yeah, doesn't quite work out, but you know what does work out for us, Mike? 1 minute, one short minute away until we get what we want, some tier 5s. I don't know why you're so excited about Giants here, Mike. You know, there's a little thing called the Book of the Dead.
Oh, yes.
I don't know why you weren't hyping that one up. I thought you loved
Now
Necronomicon. I thought you loved reading books, Mike.
Wait, now you're speaking my language, Jonathan. It's about damn
Yeah.
time. Imagine just Necro book on VTube. He's having problems pushing the spot racks, John. He needs some help. Give the man some help.
No. Disgusting. I mean, that's actually